Well, hello everyone. This is Brother Donnie. I'd like to welcome you back to the Reformed Faith Simplified. We have been going through the acronym TULIP, and today we've come to another letter, and that letter being the I in TULIP. Now, the I traditionally stands for irresistible grace, but I want to change that slightly and call it effectual grace. So when Reformed folks say that God's grace to the sinner is effectual or irresistible, what we mean is that there will be a time in the life of the believer that God extends grace to them, and the effect of that grace is the same as a calling or a drawing. Now, John 6 has scriptures about the Lord drawing. I've picked, you can see on the screens, I've got Romans chapter 8. I want to read to you verse 28. We know verse 28 very well. And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purposes. Now, if you would, notice verse 29. For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to become conformed to the image of his Son, so that he would be first among many brothers and sisters. And those whom he predestined, he also called. And these whom he called, he also justified. And those whom he justified, he also glorified. This scripture puts forth the idea of effectual calling. In the life of the believer, you have perhaps many hearings of the gospel, and really the calling is of a two-step thing. Number one, the calling is a gospel call. There is a gospel call that goes out every time someone hears the gospel preached. But the only way that somebody will come to faith is by the effectual call, or the drawing, the dragging someone in. And that's literally what the effectual call is God utilizing his grace to draw the sinner to himself. And he does that not only, he does it on his timetable. That's why, and I heard a question recently, which is a good question, why do people sometimes hear the gospel multiple times before they come? Well, that's because it's a timetable of God. And those whom he has, his grace and his mercy has fell on will come. This is the effectual calling.